and are beginning to appreciate what God did long ago. In the Bible, in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, verse 20, 27, it says that God created different peoples in the world and gave them different parts of the world where each would live with known boundaries. The exact quotation goes as follows. From one man, this is in quotes, from one man he made all the nations that they should inhabit the whole earth. And he marked out their appointed times in history and boundaries of their lands. God did this so that they would seek him and perhaps reach out for him and find him, though he's not far from any one of us. This is in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17, verses 26 to 27. In the case of Africa, God enabled the following linguistic groups to reside here on the African continent. These are the Niger-Congo, which include the Bantus and the Kwa groups of southern Nigeria. The Nilo-Saharan, which includes the Nilotic, the Nilo-Hamitic, the Cushitic, and the Sudanic groups of languages. Thirdly, the Afro-Asiatic, comprised of Arabic, Tigrinya, and Amharic. And then number 4, the Khoisan groups of Southern Africa. The Ateker groups are a subcluster of the Nilo-Saharan cluster. We, the Pan-Africanists, led by George Pademore, an African American, W.B. Du Bois, another African American, Marcus Garvey, another African American, Kwame Nkrumah, Mwalimu Nyerere, Modibo Keita of Mali, Sekou Toure of Guinea-Conakry, Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, Muammar Gaddafi of Libya, Ben Bella of Algeria, King Mohammed V of Morocco, Patrice Lumumba, Jomo Kenyatta, Tobo Mboya, etc., detected and isolated 3 historical missions for us, the Africans, to achieve if we are to survive as free people or even survive at all and thrive. These historical missions are, number 1, prosperity for the African people. We, the Pan-Africanists, this is what we identified long ago. Our leaders here, whom I read, we were young, working under them, and we identified historical mission number 1 to be how to create prosperity for the African people. Historical mission number 2, strategic security. How can Africa be secure? And historical mission number 3, taking advantage of the undugu. Undugu is Swahili word for brotherhood, for fraternity of our people, given to us by God. So these are the 3 historic missions we the Pan-Africanists isolated long ago. Number 1, how can Africa achieve prosperity for its people? Number 2, how can Africa achieve strategic security for its people? And number 3, how can we use the undugu, the umoja, the oneness, the brotherhood to achieve the other 2? We always start with the question, where does prosperity come from? If you say that the African people need prosperity, the question is, where does prosperity come from? Can prosperity be achieved by begging from other countries? Because that was one issue. Some people told you that you could be prosperous by begging from other countries. Now our answer, begging all these years, Africans have begged wananga. Waafrika wanaomba, omba. Wanaomba huko, wanaomba kule, wanaomba chakula, wanaomba nguo, wanaomba usalama. So our view is that if begging was a source of prosperity, then all the African countries will be prosperous by now, because they have done it for all this time. So would Latin America, from where you see desperate throngs of people walking on foot and going to the prosperous United States of America. Those who watch TV, you have seen people from Latin America walking in big numbers on foot, going from Latin America, trying to enter United States. Even the other day I was watching TV, I saw them. Where then does prosperity come from? Prosperity comes from producing a good or a service with a chibaro. You remember chibaro? Aymar. What do you call Aymar in your dialect here? Chibaro is assessing the optimal returns, the profitability. You produce a good or a service after you have calculated its profitability, and you do so sustainably, and selling that good or somebody buying your service and paying you, the service provider. In that case, the producer of the good or the service will get income and solve the problem of food, problem of shelter, like the house, problem of clothing, problem of health, problem of education for the children, etc., as well as creating jobs for other citizens and paying taxes so that the country can stand up. If that is the answer for achieving prosperity, if the answer for prosperity is producing a good or a service and selling it, then the next question is, who will buy those goods and services sustainably and on a large scale so that your prosperity is sustainably supported? Because if you say ustawi, I think the word for prosperity is ustawi. Ukisema ustawi wa jamii unatokana na kudharisha bidhaa na huduma na kuuza bidhaa hizo na watu kutumia huduma yako. Swala linarudi ni kwamba nani atanunua hizo bidhaa zako, na nani atatumia huduma yako kwa wingi. If you say that prosperity will come from producing a good or a service and selling it, then the next question is, who will buy that good or that service and buy it on a big scale? Here, who will buy those goods and services sustainably and on a large scale so that your prosperity is sustainably supported? Here, we get the question of the market. Once tukiuliza hilo swala, tunagundua jambo la soko. Nani atanunua bidhaa zako? Nani atatumia huduma yako? Here we get to the question of the market. If you produce goods and services with Echibaro is the other assessing profitability. Echibaro is our word here, meaning assessing profitability. To solve your problem of prosperity, who will buy those products sustainably and on a big scale enough to sustain your prosperity? Is the market in your tribe enough? Because that's where you get into problems. Is the market in your tribe enough to support your prosperity? How about the market in the country where your tribe or part of your tribe, as is normally the case, were put by the colonial borders? If you say that prosperity will come from producing a good and a service and selling it, we have said the next question is, now that leads you to the question of the market. And the question is the market in your tribe enough to support your buying your products and creating prosperity for you? How about the market of the country where your tribe belongs? Because the colonial borders cut these tribes. One part is here, one part is there. So how is the market? How big is the market of the country where part or whole of your tribe was put? Is that market enough to support your prosperity? Experience has shown that when people wake up from a job, you know, the good thing is that many Africans are ajo. They are asleep. Wamelala. Kulala vile vile ni vizuri. Kama umelala, hutajua hatari iko wapi. Nyoka inaweza kuingia chumbani, inakuvoja, and bite you, and you die peacefully without knowing that you are in danger. Kwa sababu kulala vile vile ni vizuri. So when you see people pushing tribalism, pushing religious sectarianism, ni kwa sababu wamelala. They don't know. Hawajui hatari iko wapi, hawajui uzuri uko wapi. So they are asleep. But when they wake up, experience has shown that when the people wake up from a jaw is a word for sleeping, a jaw. And start producing goods and services on a big scale with the Chibaro. Neither the tribal market nor the country market can be enough. Since the NRM woke up the Ugandans to some limited extent, Waganda wameamuka kiasi, sio sana, lakini wameamuka kiasi. Not fully, but already they're finding that the internal market of Uganda has shown that it's not enough. We have surplus of almost everything: maize, milk, sugar, fruits, beef, bananas, eggs, mayai yamekuwa mayai, poultry, beers. Walevi wa hapa hawawezi kumaliza pombe yote. Wamekunywa lakini wameshindwa. Soft drinks, cement, etc. Besides, there are other examples in the world. Take the example of Latin America. In terms of natural resources like water, forests, minerals, agriculture, etc., Latin America could be much richer than the USA. However, on TV, you can see how miserable those people walking in thousands on foot or hanging dangerously atop of crowded trains or even petrol wagons of trains trying to go to what they think is heaven, the United States. What caused the difference between the two, USA and Latin America? Ukitazama kwenye upande wa mali asili, Latin America iko na mali asili nyingi, misitu, mito mikubwa kama Amazon, madini, lakini watu wako kwenye huzuni. They are in misery. So what is the problem? United States doesn't have the same plentifulness of natural resources, but it's much more prosperous. So what causes the difference? That's what the Africans should study. What is the difference between the United States of America and Latin America? What causes the difference? What causes the difference between the two, USA and Latin America? In my view, the answer is integration, economic and political integration versus fragmentation. If you fragment the market, you have these small markets, small market of Uganda, small market of Kenya, small market of that's where the problem is. Nadhani hatari iko hapa. Political and economic integration among similar, linked or contiguous people, appropriately done, means strength and prosperity, while political and market fragmentation mean weakness and misery on account of poverty and insecurity. That is why our movement, the National Resistance Movement, which started as a student movement in the 1960s, distilled the four ideological principles, which are patriotism, love Uganda because you need it for your prosperity. You belong to this tribe, that tribe, but Uganda is very important for your prosperity. Kenya is very important for your prosperity. Tanzania is very important for your prosperity. Ethiopia. So if you think your tribe is more important than Ethiopia, you are an enemy of your tribe. Because you are endangering the interest of your tribe. Your tribe needs Ethiopia. Your tribe needs Uganda. Your tribe needs Kenya, needs Tanzania, needs South Sudan. If your tribe is to be prosperous. So ukiwa kama huelewe umuhimu wa uzalendo, kupenda Uganda, kupenda Tanzania, unakuwa adui wa kabila yako kwanza. Because you doom their future. Where will they sell their products? When they wake up, watauza wapi bidhaa zao? Umevunja soko yao kwa ujinga wako. Mimi ni mchungaji, mimi ni mfugaji wa ng'ombe. Mnanijua. Nakamua maziwa, niko na nyama na ndizi. Lakini Wanyankore hawanunue maziwa yangu. Kwa sababu nao wako na maziwa, niko na maziwa. Hawanunui kutoka kwangu, sinunui kutoka kwao. Lakini tunasema lugha moja, Agandi haijengei nyumba, nataka kujenga nyumba. And you are telling me Agandi, habari. I want money. And money will come from the one who buys my milk, who buys my beef, who buys my bananas. So kwa hiyo mkija Rwakitura mnakuta niko na nyumba nzuri, nimeipata kwa sababu ya Uganda. Kwa sababu Waganda kutoka sehemu zingine za Uganda ambao hawana maziwa ndio wananunua maziwa yangu. Ndio wananunua ndizi zangu. So principle number one, patriotism. That's the principle of the National Resistance Movement. The chairman was telling you, Chairman LC1, before I forget, patia huyu mtu motorcycle yake. Nani? Mukaga. Huyu LC1 aja achukue pikipiki yake kabla sijasahau. Kwa hiyo, therefore, what the chairman was talking about, the LC1, the NRM structure, LC1, LC means the local council. Local council 1, local council 2, local council 3. The first principle of the NRM is patriotism. Love Uganda. Why? Because you need Uganda for your prosperity. But number 2, the second principle is Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need Africa. Because even the internal market of Uganda is not enough. You need the market of Africa. So that's why, from the very beginning, our second principle was Pan-Africanism. Third principle, socio-economic transformation. The community, yes, you are celebrating the Ateker culture, our old ways of doing things. But as the Emoromor was telling you, you need to change some things and maintain other things. When a child is in the womb of the mother, he's breathing in a certain way, he's eating in a certain way. But when the child is born from the womb, there are things which must change. He can no longer continue eating through the umbilical cord. You are natupa. He now starts eating from the mouth. So if you are born and you refuse to eat, say, I'm waiting for the umbilical cord, then you are in trouble. So change must mean change with continuity. Some things go, others stay. So which one will go? Of course, the child, the brain is the same. You cannot give away your brain. So because in Mezariwa, the brain is go away. No. Some parts continue, others go. So we need to see which things change and which continue. And that's why our principle number 3 is socio-economic transformation. The community needs to undergo metamorphosis from a non-money traditional way of life to a money economy. And democracy, to ensure that people hold the leaders accountable and they are elected by them. Therefore, what the Ateker people are doing here today is a step in the right direction. You are reminding yourselves that you are similar people, the colonial borders notwithstanding. The second historical mission we identified was strategic security, ability to defend ourselves against any and all threats from wherever. The colonization of the whole of Africa, except for Ethiopia, by 1900 was an existence-threatening phenomenon. Some of the colonized peoples either were exterminated or survived as small marginalized groups, their lands having been taken over by other people. Colonialism was very dangerous for the African people. You know very well that in other parts of the world, the people who were colonized no longer exist. If you go to the Caribbean now, the Caribbean islands, the original people are not there. You find new people. The indigenous people disappeared. So colonialism was very, very dangerous. Here in East Africa, in the 1950s, in the school system, we were being taught that the White Highlands in Kenya, Kenya was called White Highlands. That area around Nairobi, it was being called White Highlands. The European settlers had wanted to make Kenya a white man's country. It was because of the changes in the world that forced them to give up. Otherwise, I was taught in the primary school of the White Highlands of Kenya, kwamba Kenya ilikuwa imeanza kugeuka nchi ya wazungu, nchi ya watu weupe. We are being taught in books. So what changed was the situation in the world changed. I don't have time to go into that. So therefore, colonialism, some of the colonized peoples were exterminated or survived as small marginalized groups, their lands having been taken over by other people. Today, there are actors in the world who talk of four-dimensional superiority. Superiority on land, in land forces, in the air force, at sea, the navy, and in space. There are some people who say wanataka kuwa dume kwenye hizo sehemu zote, kwa ardhi, angani, baharini, na in space. Wanataka kuwa dume peke, ndio dume ambao wako huko peke yao. Where does this leave Africa? How can it be that people who survived the nightmare and that existence-threatening phenomenon of colonialism cannot immunize themselves against such future threats? That is why some of our leaders, such as Mwalimu Nyerere, Dr. Bote, and Mzee Kenyatta, on the 3rd of June, 1963, had declared the intention to form the East African Federation that year. 1963, our leaders declared their intention to unite Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, and Tanganyika that year, 1963, to make it a federation. I will give each delegation a picture of those people. You, the delegations, why I will give you a picture of that event. Unfortunately, some actors frustrated that effort. The East African Federation would have addressed both the issue of economic integration for prosperity and political integration for strategic security. Indeed, if that federation had taken off that time, we would never have had Idi Amin in Uganda. There was no way Idi Amin could take over here if we had a federation. No way. Maybe the Rwanda and Burundi problems could have been solved earlier, and without the terrible loss of life that we witnessed. The problem of South Sudan could have been solved earlier. Maybe the problems of Somalia would not have exploded the way they did. Indeed, a Somali delegate was in that meeting with our leaders in Nairobi, because this declaration was made in Nairobi, and there was a delegate from Somalia there. I am glad we revived the East African Treaty, and the treaty provides for the creation of the common market, the customs union, the monetary union, and eventually the political federation. You, the present generations, should push for this insurance for the survival of the black race. The black race to survive and thrive need a center of gravity. There are smaller countries in Europe, Denmark, Holland, Luxembourg, they are there. But they have got a center of gravity. When they're in trouble, the big boy, United States, comes to their rescue. Where is the center of gravity of Africa? Where is it? Uganda here, Kenya there. Where is the center of gravity of Africa? Where is the center of gravity? East Africa, a federation of East Africa would be the center of gravity of not only Africa, but of the whole African race. I'm also glad that the African leaders finally agreed on the CFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area. Push for the consolidation of that effort because it addresses the aspect of the African people's prosperity through the market integration mentioned above. The final historical mission we had identified is the Undugu fraternity of the African peoples, part of which you, the Ateker people, are addressing by getting together here in Soroti. I encourage you to continue. The similarities and linkages among the African peoples make it easy for Africa to integrate in order to achieve the first two historical missions, prosperity and strategic security. Apart from the linkages and the similarities among the four linguistic groups identified above, into which the 1.5 billion peoples of Africa fall, we in East Africa and the Great Lakes have the additional advantage of Swahili, a non-tribal Bantu dialect that can be used to unite all this area. It has quite a number of Arabic words in it and can be expanded to integrate words from other African dialects. However, you, the Ateker people, as the Emormor was saying, you need to catch up with your colleagues in other parts of East Africa by working with the government to create peace. Because when you the Ateker say, Ateker, we are brothers, we are what? You have been determined to finish one another. And I had to use a very big stick to stop you from finishing one another by disarming the Karamojong. So you should not just talk, please Ateker and come and dance and jump. That's not enough. In Nakapiripirit, when we disarmed those people, there was a woman who had been widowed 9 times. She was on husband number 9. All the other husbands had died because of the war. What you call atom. Killed husband number 1, number 2. She was now on number 9. So don't just come and dance and finish end there. We are talking about integration, market, and so on. But even before that, start with the basics. You say I coach? I coach, number 1. Peace. We don't want to hear. The governments must remove guns from here. We disarmed this Karamojong. We removed 41,000 guns. Can you imagine? 41,000 guns from Karamoja. They had 41,000 guns. You can't believe it. When I mean overthrow Bote, the Uganda army was 8,000 people. And when we were fighting Idi Amin with our Tanzanian brothers, Amin had an army of 20,000. But you hear the Karamojong had 41,000 guns. So we had to remove them by force. So in the other countries, Turkana, the Turkanas normally come here. I allow them to water in the other dam, Kobebe, but they come with guns. But I stopped them recently. Siliwafukuza nyinyi wa Turkana. Niliwafukuza. Kwenda huko, kwenda. They try to come nitawapiga. So, remove the guns. Work for peace. Then water. When I formed the Karamoja Development Authority, the first thing I wanted to do was water. Dams. Akipi. When Mama was in Karamoja, the local councils were misusing the money. We are giving each district 800 million shillings. That's quite a lot of money each year. But they were not for water. That was just for water. So if you have got a dam, a very big dam, the few big dams we have are able to support the cows throughout the dry season. So peace, number 1, I Kuch. Number 2, Akipi, water. Am I speaking Karamojong? Don't backbite me. If you backbite me, I will know that you are backbiting me. Then, once you have peace and water, it will be easier for you to abandon nomadism. Because you say here, Ateker, love cows. You don't love cows. You are enemies of cows. You are enemies of cows because cows don't like to move around. If the cows move around, my cows which are sick infect yours which are not sick. So how can you say you love cows but you don't want to settle down? I have a lot of cows now, but even if you give me a gift, I cannot accept it, because I don't want to bring your one cow which is sick and kill my thousands which are not sick. So you cannot say we love cows, but you are taking a sick cow from me. The cows have got many sicknesses, foot and mouth. This one called brucellosis. So many sicknesses, CBPP. So this movement is we are trying to beg our brothers from Tanzania, because when cows from Kagera region, they enter Uganda, they bring sickness, bring foot and mouth. So we are trying to work with them on the immunization on the two sides, immunize against foot and mouth. So if you say you love cows, you must work for peace, work for water, and stop nomadism. That's when we shall be able to have cows proper. Cows are like babies. You cannot put baby in the open there and you say, I love babies, but you have put the baby there. Then now once you do that, you engage in commercial agriculture and food security. And then we can even look at irrigation. Then you emphasize health and education. You have seen, you the Karamojong, you have seen how I have helped you with immunization, just immunization. In 1980, when I went to campaign in Karamoja for UPM, population of Karamoja was 190,000. All that Karamoja is bigger than Belgium. In land area, there is a small country in Europe called Belgium. Karamoja is bigger than Belgium. But in 1980, the population was 190,000. They marry many women, many what? Where are the children going? They are being taken by the grave. They are producing children for the grave. Now I have immunized you. So all those children are my children, the ones who have grown up. And the population now is 1.2 million or something, about, of Karamoja now is about 1.2 million. Population has now come up. Amdat, a place called Amdat. Amdat, when we gave them a district, there were 20,000. Now I hear they are like 150 something. I think they are like 150,000 now. So, and this is just immunization. If we had added other things like safe water, nutrition, hygiene, population will now be, it's just immunization. We have just done a small thing, immunization only, and education. So I thank you, the Ateker. Thank you for bringing the rain. I think you used some what do you call spirits in Akaramajong? What are they called? The rules called them joke. What do they call them? Somebody on the microphone. Someone. What do you call spirits? What do you call it? Joke in law.
Your Excellency, not just so we call it joking.
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 So,
joking. So it's almost the same thing like the other one. Joking.
So the jokey.
Yeah.
Jokey.
And then some people call it equamin. You know something comes and then spoils your head. And you become confused. So that's what we call joking or equamin. Thank you.
Whatever. Equipe something. Bus.
Your Excellency, it is not called equipe. It is called ijoki.
Ijoki.
Yes, then in actually it is ijok.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it seems the ijoki you used the ijoki. You didn't want me. You didn't want my helicopter to come, so you brought the rain. But Mama has got a strong God on our side, so we came. It was rain. It was a lot of rain, and this should have given us water to keep in the dams. I'm told here in Teso, we have got many dams which have silted up. We are going to desilt them. Because this is what causes flooding. When the dams are not silted up, are not desilted, then the water remains on the surface and floods. We need to capture the water and put it in the dam and keep it there for use. So with these few words, I thank everybody, and it is my pleasure to declare your conference open so you can dance the way you want.
Thank you, Excellency. Your Excellency.
Just hold on.
I just request for
Just hold on. I want to hand the pictures to the heads of delegations. I will start with
the Speaker of Kenya was requesting your indulgence that
I can meet them tomorrow in Entebbe at around 5.
the Turkish
Tomorrow in Entebbe around 5.
Turkish delegation 5.
If they can be patient, I can meet them tomorrow at 5 in Entebbe.
Oh, the foreign, okay. And the Right Honorable Speaker says he has a message from His Excellency
So
President
the
Ruto.
pictures, these are the pictures of our leaders in 1963. I give to the Prime Minister. Then the Speaker of Kenya. Then the Minister from South Sudan. Then the ambassador from Tanzania. Then the head of the Ateker in Uganda, Vice President. Oh, I give it to the MRMO, or what? But MRMO is only for, on behalf of the others. Okay. I think that's all.
Thank you, Excellency. Your Excellency, the Kenya and Ethiopia have protested that their team traveled very far and we didn't permit them to showcase their culture. Request for only 10 minutes.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Can we have Ethiopia? Come, Ethiopia.
Ada rumor buaput nadoto ekisil akide an atuntun foto fe tolong tu. Inya butuh.
And Kenya should be ready immediately. You have already announced.
Mheshimiwa Rais na Naibu wa Rais, wageni walikuwa wanaoingia Ateker wa Ethiopia. Karibuni.
Kenya. Kenya. The people of Kenya. Okay, it's enough. You can go back now. Can we have Kenya? Thank you very much. Can we have Kenya, the Republic of Kenya? I see Turkana, I see I'm told there are members of parliament and ministers who came late. You can stand and wave to His Excellency the President. I cannot read your name now. Protocol does not allow. Can we have Kenya to showcase? Okay, can we have another style? Who is helping me with a different community? I see Turkana, I see Topoth, I see
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give Kenya one out. Allow Kenya to.
the second group from Kenya, please. The second group.
Tunaomba watu wa Kenya grupu ya kwanza ukubalie grupu ya pili ile. Tunaomba sana Grupu ya kwanza kutoka Kenya wakubalie grupu ya pili ile. Rais alipatia kitabu pekee na kwa hivyo anasema tusikie. Asante sana, shukrani. Grupu ya kwanza kubalie grupu ya pili. Asante sana, shukrani na ndoto. Sawa, grupu ya pili tuendelee. Grupu ya pili tunashukuru sana wageni kutoka Kenya. Wacha tuvalie grupu ya pili pia.
I'm sure that sample can have shown us how rich that culture is.
Thank you very much. Let's allow the next people to perform so we can invite South Sudan. Ateker, Yanamanoi, Jai Watanabu, Kuroga, Apapo Kenya, Nami, Epuku, Soto, Kenya, Yai, Yamamachina. Asante sana Kenya. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Makofi tafadhali. South Sudan. South Sudan. Nyaramo South Sudan. Kenya, asante sana. Shukran na dada. Era na noe. Let's allow South Sudan. South Sudan, please come and sit us here. Thank you very, very much. Let's have South Sudan. Thank you.
There's a group from Abib. Sorry.
We are finished with Uganda. Only for the president from afternoon until the night until the Friday. You are here to dance. We are coming back with the right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That is South Sudan. Allow me recognize delegation from South Africa. South Africa, if you are in the tent, just wave. And the former First Lady is there. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now we have the last song from Turkey and we sing the national anthem.
Hello. I wanted to see Ethiopia. I didn't see it. Where is it?
Ethiopia. Ethiopia came earlier with but can we get Ethiopia back? Ethiopia joined the people of Karamoja earlier, but can we have Ethiopia?
The Nyangaton. I hear that in music you can ask for encore.
You people first clap for His Excellency the President for being very patient and accepting to see all your cultural.
Ishara Mikita Minister, Papa President, Anuacha Mulu, Ibru Keraga Mangarike, Omo Marani, Papa President Japan.
Ethiopia, please. Ethiopia, there's demand for you to come back. Now you show all the teso. No, that is pure teso from Ethiopia. The last, can you put our last song from Turkey and we sing national anthem? Turkey, Turkey, Turkey. Do we have it? Thank you. A round of applause. And I saw the Turkish ambassador smiling. National anthem. National anthem. Oh. And all the delegates, you come back here after your lunch. We are continuing up to 10 in the night, tomorrow and Friday. Please come back.
We thank you together with Mama for gracing this occasion and for supporting this occasion. We want to pray for Janemas. We want to wish you Janemas.
Bueno,